Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Real Tarot 1123. I am doing a video, or rather, this video is about a case that somebody had actually asked, and then I was like, okay, I'll get to it at some point in time, and looks like this is the time to do it. So, this is regarding Tamla, I think I'm saying it right, Tamla, Tamla Horsford. Horsford. I haven't followed the case. I'm telling you, sometimes I feel like I live under a rock or something. She is the mom of 5 who went for a sleepover party or something, or a slumber party, and died over there. So I was like, okay, the person, I couldn't tell you who asked me to do this. This was a while ago. I just like kind of jotted it down, and I was like, okay, I'll get to it at some point. But apparently there was an investigation and they ruled out homicide. But everybody, including her family, is like, no, it's, they have their doubts. So I was like, okay, let's do a little reading and see where it's going to take us. And I'm like, all right, let's get started. Okay, so there we go. I have the door, my study door, I closed it because my son is actually in the house now. So I like to keep the door closed so that he can do his thing and he doesn't mind. He's always like, he's like, how do you do that, Mom, or whatever, but just for some privacy. So he's the only one at home, and then it's me. So without much ado, oh my goodness, excuse me. All right. So I just had a coughing fit a few minutes ago. I'm telling you, I thought I was going to cough up my lungs, but I feel better because there was a lot of that gunk, that sputum or whatever you call it, mucus, that came up, and I think that kind of relieves, right? So somebody had sent me an email, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm so sorry, honey, if I don't remember your name, but she is a nurse, and she said that she recommended do some simple breathing exercises the moment I wake up in the morning, and I was like, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. So about a couple of hours ago, I had actually laid down for a little bit, and I think I must have dozed off, say for about half an hour or so. So I woke up, and then I remembered, and I did that breathing thing that she said. And yeah, it's funny that I have to send her an email and thank her for suggesting that. But if you're watching, thank you, honey. I do appreciate that. Like after I did that breathing thingy, I had a little bit of an episode of coughing, and then I was able to bring up a lot of that and spit it out, and I got a little bit of relief for a little while. It's so there you go. And even now, just before I started this, I had another little coughing episode, and like same thing happened. I brought it out. Sorry, too much information, but I feel better. So every time I bring out that mucus, it relieves some of the congestion. If anybody else is struggling with this, like let me know what y'all do. Just out of curiosity. Another one of our family members here on this channel, she was kind enough to suggest that pineapple juice apparently helps with congestion. And I was like, girl, I'm going to try that. I genuinely like pineapple juice, so I'm going to get me some, although I haven't tried it. So why not, right? It's not going to hurt you. It's natural. So I'm going to try that. And yeah, the steam inhalation and all that stuff does help a little bit. So I'm telling you, my granny, if she were here, she'd be like, don't waste your money on the doctors. Just have some tea, a spot of tea, and some, couple teaspoons of good old biscuit brandy, and you'll be fine. She was the kind who would be like, oh my God, here we go again. There has to be a ramble, right? Come on. So she was the kind who would be like, If somebody is dying, have a spot of tea. If somebody is having a baby, have a spot of tea. You got a headache, have a spot of tea. If you're having PMS, have a spot of tea. If you're having a bad day at work, have a spot of tea. So her thing was having a spot of tea would cure all illnesses. And it was the universal, remedy or prescription for everything and sundry. So it does bring back memories. And she was all about biscuit brandy and stuff like that. So I have tried to see if they still make biscuit brandy. I remember as a child seeing this bottle and that said biscuit brandy. I don't know if it is a local thing or if it is some little boutique family owned business that do that or whatever, but I've never been able to find it. After that, or I don't even know if it was a brand name or what it was. But I remember, we used to get a little bit of that, as kids when we were having trouble sleeping and all that stuff. And, we have a lot of people who are like, oh my God, you can't give alcohol to kids and all that. But if you look at all the over-the-shelf medicines, what high percentages of alcohol those things have, right? So, anyhow, that's a little bit of rant. And another thing I remember my gran used to do, like to help us with our sinuses and all that. Weird, y'all. This is like really like going back to the good old days of, herbal medicine and using stuff from your kitchen larder unit to help with your sickness. Turmeric root, right? We know turmeric is a root like ginger. So if it's dried, so what they would do is they would light it, right? So light it like incense and blow out the flame, and then like incense it emits kind of a smoke. And you would think that smoke would burn your lungs because it's turmeric, right? It wouldn't. And of course they'd have it like at a distance and they would say inhale it and it would clear your sinuses. And I was thinking to do that, but I haven't found any turmeric root. I have to go to the store and get that. So I was like, let me just deal with what I have at home and then I'll figure it out. I remember using that too. I remember my grandma used to be like, here, try this and this will help you or whatever. And it used to. So, anywho, that's my ramble, okay? Let's go on with Tamla Horsford. She comes across as being a happy person, full of life and, just a happy, good person. She loved her kids. She is saying that sometimes I just needed to get away from my kids, and my family was okay. They were understanding. My husband was okay and understanding. So I appreciate that. I don't know why, but I see her in scrubs. I don't know what her career is or whatever, but I'm seeing her in scrubs. Did she have a sister around the same age, or a cousin, female cousin around the same age, or did she have a twin? Or does she have a twin? I don't know, somebody let me know. So I'm seeing like two females, like they almost look alike. They're either sisters or cousins or twins, they're around the same age. So I'm not sure whether I'm seeing Tamla in scrubs or whether it is this other female who I'm seeing in scrubs. But she's a little bit skinny girl. They're almost the same height, and if you you'd be like, yeah, they must be related, they must be sisters or they must be twins. I don't know what this is about this person in scrubs. Okay, we'll figure it out. Neptune, of course. Venus. Ooh, there was a lot of passion going on there. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, right off the bat. This was not like a slumber party that is like, oh, we just go have fun, we'll have a couple of drinks and we'll eat some good food and play a couple of board games and crack up and watch some TV and then we'll go to bed and wake up in the morning. Why is this thing, sorry. That was odd. That was so odd. Anywho, so with Neptune, did I show you the cards? Now I don't know when her birthday is and all that stuff, but so irrelevant. So Neptune is water, right? Neptune rules Pisces now, and then we have Venus. And we know Venus is all about, I mean, just look at the card, right? Look at the card. Venus is all about, the passion and the good things in life, the luxury, the passions, the very feminine, the very sexy, sensual, all that stuff. And then with Pisces and Neptune, it's all about the water, it's all about the emotions, it's all about the mysteries. They say we haven't even explored more than whatever percentage of the ocean that we have in the world on Earth, right? So it's like there's a lot of mysterious stuff there. And then we have Scorpio. And Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto, right? Now with Scorpio is also a very sensual side. This is not a plain and simple slumber party. Alcohol was in play, obviously. There was also some kind of a controlled substance involved. I clearly see somebody opening a bottle of alcohol. I don't know, it looks like champagne to me, like popping the cork. Or it could be a bottle of beer where they, how some people know how to pop the cork on a beer bottle. I don't know how to do it. I couldn't do that to save my life. I don't know how they do it. I've seen people like put it at the edge of the table and they go pop and then it comes off, and I'm always fascinated because I think it's magic. I could never do that. If you gave me a bottle of beer and say open it, I'm like, okay, where's the bottle opener? Like seriously. So there was a lot of people breaking off and going into different rooms and having acts of passion. You know what I mean? Basically having sex. So 20, 30, 38, 39, 45 and 9. So there was some experimentation, some exploring. Is like, oh yeah, so-and-so's husband is going to go with so-and-so's wife to that room. This is like an adult party type of thing. I don't think it started off with that intention, but it kind of went in that direction. Definitely alcohol was involved. People were like having a good time, y'all. There was a little bit of dancing going on, like sensuous dancing, like to the point where, okay, I'm going to say this, I'm nothing wrong. I'm not judging, so don't get mad at me. You have a couple of drinks and then you cut loose and you kind of get a little bit more limber and your dance moves become a little bit more, that sort of stuff. So, that's a lot of cards, but that's fine. Oh yeah, see the moon card. Well, of course the moon is going to pop up. Like, why wouldn't it? Let me show you the cards. Y'all, I have to say though, like I'm feeling so calm and I'm feeling so calm. That's the only way I can explain it. It's funny how sometimes energy comes through like that, and it's funny how sometimes energy is like, let me arrange it. So I'm making it 3, 3 and 3 so that, it's funny how sometimes energy is so, can you all see? Yeah, there you go. There you go. Energy is so calm and energy is so agitated or excitable or so. Hang on, I'm not liking that. I want you to see it, but yeah. Okay, so probably the top of my head is cut off or from view or whatever. It doesn't matter. The important thing is the cards. So it's odd, when sometimes energy is so excited, energy is angry, energy is hurried energy is like devastated. And then here with her reading, the energy is very calm, very calm. And that tells me she has accepted the fact that she died. So she has accepted. Sometimes the spirit refuses to acknowledge that they are no more in the physical world, and they find it very difficult to move on. So in this case, I feel like she is accepted the fact that she is no more in the physical world, that her death was, it is what it is. Is she happy about the fact that she died? No, she's saying she wished, she never expected her life would be cut short, but she's saying, it's okay. It's weird that she's saying that. Why is she accepting of it? So we have the World card, the Moon card, the Judgment card. Then we have the Hangman, then we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Fool card. So with the World card right under Neptune and right under that we have the Hangman. As we know, the World card, okay, so the World card is about completion and success and spiritual rebirth and all that, the coming full circle, right? And then the Hangman is all about seeing things from a different perspective and resting and being in a state of limbo. So maybe that's what it is. Like she has accepted the fact that she's moved on from the physical realm, and she understands that it's a completion of her physical life, and this gives an opportunity for a spiritual rebirth or for her soul to move on and take life again. And she's with the Hangman, she's showing me that she fell, y'all. She's like, she fell. And she's saying that somebody was there, and as she toppled over, somebody held her ankle, her left ankle to be precise. Somebody held her, and then they couldn't, and they let go, and she fell. Ooh, shucks. That is a bit intense. Then we have the Moon card, and as we know, the Moon card is, beware of deception, psychic, whatever. But then we also have the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune is about power. Again, it's movement. So somebody in that party had some power over her and power over the other people, and they are hiding deep, dark secrets. Then we have the Judgment card and the Fool card. The Judgment card is under Scorpio, and I said Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto, and Pluto is all about regeneration, and it's also water, right? A Scorpio is a water card, so very emotional. And there is Judgment, and then there is a Fool card. So she is telling me that at some point in time, she did say, I've had enough, I want to go to sleep. But they were like, come on, they were like literally judging her, like saying come on, it's okay, it's not going to hurt you, have another one. Oh, you're such a lightweight, or you're a wussy, or you're being a sissy, or you're being a party pooper. Come on, have another one. And she's like, no, I want to go to bed. I'm okay, I'm done, I've reached my limit, I want to go to bed. And somebody stopped her. Somebody stopped her from doing that. And they pulled her back in and said, come on, let's party. Like, come on, it's not even midnight or whatever, let's party. She's not showing me who, but I think it's a male. Yeah, it is a male. So this male is either the primary figure in that family or in that party. You know what I mean, right? Primary figure as in the host or the most, I don't know if he's the host, or you could also host a party in somebody else's house too, right? Or whether he's the resident of that house, or whether he is a significant other for somebody in that house. Ooh, I'm not liking this guy, y'all. You know what I don't like? And this is what is blowing my mind. Okay, this is going to be another one of those readings that I'm going to be mad as hell by the end of it all. She's saying she fell. She's saying she was toppling over and somebody caught her by her ankle. She's saying her left ankle. And she's saying, I could see them and I struggled a bit and I thought they were going to pull me back, but they couldn't and they let go, and that's when I fell and I died. Somebody knows, y'all. Somebody knows. Okay, if they're telling me that this is an accident and nobody saw, that's a full-on lie. The full-on lie. Wait, I don't like that. Okay, I'm going to do this. You all can still see the cards. It's a full-on lie. Somebody is going to sit there and say, oh, you know what, Kirtana? No, it was an accident. And no, somebody actually saw her fall over and she died. It wasn't like she was walking on a flat surface and she fell off. She's clearly showing me that, wait, where's that card? Let me see. It's from a higher level. So I don't know how many feet high or how many stories high. It's definitely at a high level. Hang on, you guys. I'm just going to turn on the lights. I should have gotten a cup of water to drink, but that's okay. So I don't care like what they say. Oh, it was an accident. She tripped and fell. No. Okay, let's get on with this. Yeah, her family is justified in thinking that this was not an accident. If somebody is that high and that intoxicated and you are part of the group, even if you are yourself intoxicated and there are a bunch of people over there, wouldn't you know that somebody is like headed to the balcony and you'll pull her back and say, hey, come on inside, like, you know, don't go there, you'll fall over or something? Isn't it natural? Like, they didn't care. Like, what the hell? Were they all so drunk or so high that they didn't care? Or she's telling me somebody was hitting on her all from the moment she walked in to the moment she passed. She's saying somebody was hitting on her, no, not physically beating on her, like flirting with her and making advances to her. And she was getting a little bit annoyed and she went and spoke to the lady of the house. And she's like, come on, chill, it's okay. Like, just ignore him. What the hell? She's saying, it's okay, chill, ignore him. You know, he's harmless. And it continued through the night, and she went and at some point and she said, I'm going to go to bed, I've had enough. And these people, she's also saying that the lady of the house and somebody else said, come back, it's okay, we'll have some fun. And it continued, and she finally went and told the lady of the house, she said, look, I'm not interested in this, I don't want to do this. And the lady of the house, she says, yelled at her and said, why do you have to be a party pooper, you're hot. Oh my goodness, all right. The lady out of the house said, why are you being a party pooper? Why are you being like spoiling everybody's fun times over here? If you don't like it, just go. If you're not willing to play, then you can leave. Like, nobody's stopping you. You can leave. But Tamla says she was absolutely sure she couldn't because she knew she had a little bit much to drink. So she's like, I wasn't going to take the chances of driving myself home. But I don't know, did she reach out to her husband or a family member and say, come pick me up or something like that? I don't know. She said she couldn't find her phone to call. She's saying, I think they hid her purse, her keys and her purse in her bag. All right, I'm going to get a lot of flack from the people in that house. I'm sure they're going to send me weird emails and thumbs down and past nasty comments and all that, but Um, she's saying, I feel that from the moment I went in, that I was invited for only one reason, because somebody over there had taken a liking to me and they wanted to do the deed with me, as in have sex with her. And she's saying that I never knew about that. If I knew, I would never have gone. Yeah, I like to party, I like to have a drink or so, whatever, but if I had known that's how it was going to turn out, I would never have gone. And she's saying that she is surprised that she's saying that I'm surprised at the intensity of this person's interest in me. So, which leads me to believe, or her to believe, that this was well planned. She was invited for one reason only, and that is because somebody was interested. So they said, oh, we'll invite her for this so-called slumber party and get her a little high, and then you can take her and do whatever you need to do. Wow, stuff like that, man, in today's world. You kidding me? But see, the energy I'm feeling, y'all, is almost like, just so you know, I haven't taken any antibiotics for me to feel drowsy or sleepy. I did take a nap for half an hour earlier, maybe a couple hours and a half earlier. But I'm feeling so lethargic. I'm feeling like, yeah, lethargic is the word. I'm feeling like calm, but lethargic, like my body is like limp. Like, how can I explain it? I don't know what it feels like to be drunk, because anybody who knows me will tell you I have never been drunk in my life. And anybody who knows me will tell you that. So I can't even say that this is what it feels like to be drunk. Most often I'm the designated driver, because I'm very, very clear about it. I'm like, I am not going to drink and drive. And I am very clear about it. If I know that somebody has had alcohol, if I've taken a ride with them, and I know that they have alcohol, I'm like, I'm not getting in the car if you're driving. If you want to go, you go ahead. I'll catch a cab and go home, or give me the damn keys and I'm going to drive. I've always been like that. And I'm so proud to say that both my boys are also like that, because I told them, I said, look, that false sense of bravado and that false sense of, oh, I can still manage, I'll find my way home, fraction of a second. Your reflexes are slowed, your senses are dulled. Why? You want to drink? Stay home and drink. That way I've always been very open with my kids, and I'm like, it's okay. Like here, you have to be 21 to start drinking or whatever, right? And when my younger son, when he went to England to do his engineering, he was only 17 and a half. And he passed a comment one time. He said, I don't know how far it's true or something, but he did say that I think the drinking age in England is like 16 and a half or something like that. And I don't know whether he said it at that time just to irk me, but I got so mad and I smacked him, like one smack on his face. I just got up and I smacked him, and he's looking at me, he's like, what did you do that for? What did I say? And we got into a big old argument. And then he goes, Mom, I never said I'm going to drink. I'm just saying the drinking age is whatever. And I go, oh, you should have seen me. I was like, if I ever find out, I'm going to come there and I'm going to drag your sorry ass back home and whoop your butt to kingdom come and back. You best not be doing none of that. So my kids have always known that, and even their father was always like that. Their father doesn't drink too. So we were always like, you want to have a party, invite your friends home. I'm never allowing you to go and have sleepovers in your friends. I've never let my kids go and sleep over in their friend's house. Never. I've never done that. And of course, people used to say that, oh, you're overprotective. And I'm like, yeah, I'd rather be overprotective than be sorry and jeopardize my kids' life for the rest of their lives. So that's just me, take it or leave it. So I would never let them, and they would be like, okay, we want our friends to come and sleep over, and very, very hesitantly, maybe a couple of times I've allowed it, because I don't want the responsibility, y'all. I mean, so yeah, we'll make sure the house is secure. I know that their father is a good man and none of that nonsense in the family. and make sure that the kids are safe. But these dumbass kids, when they're at 12, 13, 14 years, they all think that they're invincible, and after we go to bed, they open the bedroom and they come down and they're doing all kinds of stupid stuff. I don't want that hanging over my head. So maybe a couple times I've let them. I would be like, look, you bring your friends home, we will entertain, I'll cook whatever you guys want, order whatever you want, sundown, call your parents, come pick you up and go home. I don't want you here. I was like that. People call me a bitch. I'm like, screw that, this is me. And also, when they became adults, I would be like, you want a drink? Yeah, no problem, have alcohol at home. You have alcohol and then you go pass out. I'm okay with that. So I think the fact that we had such an open kind of a thing with my kids, neither of my kids are like, I'm sure, when they were in college or whatever, I'm sure they have had moments where they've passed out because of drinking a little much. I'm sure that has happened. I'm not disagreeing that. But now, like as adults, they're not the kind who, if you offer them a drink, it's like, oh, somebody's offering me a drink, I'm going to accept it every single time. It's like very rarely they'll be like, okay, I'll have a bottle of beer or I'll have a whatever. But it's not like they crave it, or every time they have a get together they have to have alcohol. So that's not there. Maybe because we had such an open policy, it's like when something is restricted, you want to do it more, and we never restricted. We said you can have at home. We had all kinds of alcohol at home. Even now, I mean, although I don't drink and Mark doesn't. Mark enjoys his, what is it that he likes? He y'all, what is that called, y'all? That cinnamon thingy, that Fireball, or there's another brand in Texas that makes that cinnamon flavored whiskey or whatever. So that's a standard Christmas gift. I'm sharing too much information. So every Christmas I get Mark a bottle of that, and it lasts in the whole year. So that's his thing. And once in a great while he has beer, but other than that, we are not like people who have to have, like every Sunday, every Friday, we have to have alcohol. That's not the case. But bringing it all back together, because you know me, how I gab, I have a feeling that her senses, she was not in complete control of her senses, because I'm really feeling very lethargic. Maybe this is how people feel when they are drunk or they've had too much alcohol, like their senses are dulled. I know some people are happy drunk, some people are quiet drunk, some people are like aggressive drunk, but this is almost like you're recovering from anesthesia or something like that. It's that calm and that cool, which also makes me feel that I don't think it was just alcohol she consumed. I have a feeling, the way my body is feeling right now, I feel that she also must have had a controlled substance in her body. She's saying yes. I don't know what, but she's saying yes. So maybe she had some controlled substance in the body, and then you mix it with the alcohol. That's when all this happens. We'll see, because if temperance pops up, then that is a sign, or even the star card, for me that is a sign that they were mixing of for lack of a better term, elements, or mixing of substances. We'll see. I don't think she's the kind of person who always wanted to have a drink or, craved alcohol, and I'm not sensing that from her. She's like, yeah, once in a while I did enjoy my drink, when the kids got a little rambunctious, she said, yeah, I did enjoy a drink, but not to the extent where I'd be like drunk and passed out and all that. She's agreeing that she had a controlled substance in her body, but she's not telling me what, and I don't know. Why is everything in the reverse? Was I holding it in the reverse? Yeah, I was. So I'm going to turn it around. Because when everything pops up in the reverse, it's probably because I was holding it in the reverse. Hang on, you guys. Whoa, that's a lot of cards. She must have a lot of things to say. So I have the 4 of spades, 6 of spades, 3 of hearts, 7 of diamonds, queen of diamonds, 8 of hearts, 7 of diamonds, king of clubs, jack of spades, 5 of diamonds, 2 of clubs. Are there any? I have 2 sevens, 2 7. Ooh. So I have 2 7 of dice. So that's cerebral. Okay, let's take it from the top. The 4 horsemen in the mire. Then we have devil, temptations, bad decisions, wish granted, full cup, lies, deceit and falsehood, mistress, sensual sex, and all that sort of stuff with a fair woman. So somebody, oh, I hate to say this, good Lord. So she was dragged into a threesome with this guy and a woman who had light hair. I'm just saying. Flirtation, pillow talk, there was a lot of that going on. Blessing, wish granted, grace, great gift, 7 stars. I'll explain what that means. Father, judge and general. Then I have a dangerous heart, intense youth, a very dark youth. This person, when I say youth is not a young man, I would say he's above the age of 32. Okay, 32 to 40, 42 max. I would say above the age of 32 to 40, but 32 to 42 is the max. Dark person, meaning like he's not light skinned, but he's not dark skinned, but he also is like a bit of a control kind of a person, like very macho and like, or at least tries to act like he's very macho and like I'm the man and that sort of stuff. Then we have abundance, meadow of flowers, rewards from wise decisions or choices. Then we have trust, honesty, handshake, and a partner brings in work. Okay, this is freaky. 4 people. Okay, so let's back up. This was not a usual, typical, innocent, PG-13, or what do you call, children safe type of a slumber party. This slumber party was organized with definite intentions of it taking an adult twist or a turn to it. By that I mean that this slumber party definitely at some point in time turned into a swinging kind of a situation. People pairing off and walking off into rooms and doing whatever they do. They were definitely foursomes, okay? I'm sorry y'all, this is TMI, but there was a lot of temptation and a lot of bad decisions made by people, every single person over there in that home. Everybody was making bad decisions. It was a lot of temptation, very carnal, very sexual. I don't care if they deny it. If they come at me and say, how do you know, do you have proof and all that stuff, I'm going to say, look, I don't give a flying fiddlestick. I was going to say FUCK, but we can't. I don't give a flying fiddlestick. I don't need no proof. I am seeing it here. So you keep your mouth shut and sit your ass down. Okay, they will say, well, how? No, there was 100% that nonsense going on. I don't even know if they discuss this with the police. Then they're talking about wish granted and full cup. So that's telling me that they had a game where it's, like a beer pong party or whatever. But this game was with shots of some alcohol. So it was like a game every time. It was a wish granted game. I do not know, y'all, if there is such a game. But somebody please let me know. It's a wish granted type of a game. So every time a wish is granted, somebody has a drink. There was a lot of lies, deceit, and falsehood. So what I mean by that is there was a lot of underhand deviousness going on over there. It's literally like people setting aside all morals, their moral compass was put away in a wardrobe in the closet, the coat closet, and locked up there. And then all the pretense of being good, honorable, sensible, smart individuals was set aside. Now here's what I'm going to say. There's nothing wrong in having sex and all that stuff. We're human beings, right? It's part of our life. Sex is an integral part of any relationship. If somebody says, oh, that's not the most important thing, then it may not be the most important thing, but it is an integral part of every relationship, as it should be. If it isn't, then I'll be like, okay, what's going on over there? And if people say, oh, no, it isn't, then I'll be like, Okay, so that's okay, right? You want to have sex, and I don't even care if people are into swinging and this, that, and then I have said it time and time and again, y'all, whatever makes you happy makes you happy. As long as it is between consenting adults. If you're going to force somebody, or in this case, disable somebody's ability to control themselves and their decision making skills or whatever, and basically manipulate them into a situation where their reflexes, their inhibitions, their control, everything is lowered down, and you take advantage of them and you do all of this stuff, that to me pisses me off, because that is sexual abuse and that is rape. Whether it is with another male, another female, foursome, threesome, tensome, I don't care, it is rape. To me, that's rape. So they did deceive her under false pretenses. They brought her in and they did that. Now I see this mistress, sensual, whatever. This is a blonde person, a younger lady, a blonde lady. I don't know if it's a natural hair color or she tends to, she's a bottle blonde. I don't know. I don't care. There was a lot of this flirtation and pillow talk, and like everybody's in the living room, and then after they had a couple of drinks and this and that, you could see people kind of leaning closer to each other and kind of why? Tongues going into other mouths, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know how else to say it. But they're showing me this whole scenario, and I'm like, well, I don't need to see that. I don't want to see that. It's nasty. You know, you can see, right, when alcohol kind of, and your defenses are down and your inhibitions drop, it's like you tend to lean closer, your hand is running, you know, that sort of a scenario. A lot of that, it started like that, and then this game of wish granted, that game kind of took a little bit of a aggressive turn. So it was like, okay, wish granted, instead of one shot, it's like, okay, now we're going to up the ante and we're going to make it like 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots, 5 shots, 6 shots. How did these people not all end up in the hospital with alcohol poisoning? I'm surprised. There's one guy who is the main guy who comes across as the father judge in general type of, like, you know, there's an older gentleman also involved, or he was in that group. But the younger guy, the darker guy, I don't think he's Caucasian. I don't think so. Darker hair. He's kind of a light skin. He's got a dark aura about him. He is a pretty intense guy. He is like, I'm the macho guy. You know, that they have that false sense of bravado, or the false sense of I'm the man, and, you know, I'm the alpha guy. I'm like, shut him out. You're not an alpha man. You shut him out, stupid. He's pissing me off. He's so pissing me off. I'm like, you need to shut him out, and you need to sit your ass down, boy, and you need to keep quiet. I feel like, you know, if he were right here, I would probably smack him on his face, because he's just so annoying. Like, people, if you are a real man, you don't have to go about beating your chest like some ding dong. I'm a man, I'm macho, look at me. Shut him out. Real men don't do bullshit like that. You know, like they say, real money whispers, right? So real men don't have to go around being so loud. The moment you see them, just their energy and the way they carry themselves and the way they talk, you can tell that these guys are like real men. They don't have to have a particular look or wear a particular style of clothing or have a particular hairstyle and all that. All that's like bah humbug. It's all these beta males and all these oh my God. I'm not a feminist, but I'm telling you, men like this piss me off. It's like all these wimpies who kind of, say, oh, I'm going to get that particular kind of a trim that's going to make me look more macho and more manly and make me look more gangster. It's like, why do you need to do all that if you're a real man? Like, why do you need to do all that? Like, seriously. All those guys who walk like that and I'm like, shut up, dude. Like, calm down. Like, take a step back. It's like, hush. This fellow is like that. These kind of people really piss the snot out of me. I'm like, there's no need to do that. He's the male version of okay, I won't say the name. You know how everybody's talking about those, there are so many videos about those women who flip it and lose their lid and yell and rant and rave and scream. And there's a name that they've given these women. He's the male version of that. I'm not going to say the name because not everybody who has that name is that type of a person. There's some really good, I don't know, unfortunately that name is stuck. But that fellow, I feel like now he's in a bit of a doo-doo. He's a bit of a doo-doo. Like, I feel like his life has taken a really, really unexpected turn, and he's sitting there scratching his head going, what the heck did I do to deserve this? Well, he has done some nefarious things, y'all, this guy. I wonder if he is the spouse or the partner or the significant other of Tamla's friend who invited her, because the lady who is the hostess of the house, I don't think she's married to this guy. I don't know if she is, but I think they're significant to each other. Then I have Abundance Meadow of Flowers. This happened in a backyard or a front yard, a yard where there's flowers and all that stuff. There is a unspoken, unwritten agreement with all the people who were in the house at that time that we are going to keep our mouth shut. We are all going to tell the same story because heads will roll. Meaning, like, people could get into jail for that. So they all shook hands. And I hate to say this, it's almost like they spit on the hand and shake hands and say, Scouts honor, we're all going to keep our mouth shut, we're all going to say the same story. So we're all on the same page. But that in and unto itself would have been a red flag for me. How come every single person has the same story? So you're telling me that every one of you all saw but nobody did anything? Like, there's something very funny about this. And why am I using the word fussy? Maybe somebody was fussing. Okay, all right. Simple message. She's saying nothing's going to come of this case. She's saying nothing is going to come of this case. They're not going to do anything. Are you ready for this, y'all? So if law enforcement is watching, even if you take notes, you're not going to go back and do anything, is what I feel. So here's a challenge for you, law enforcement. Go back and do your due diligence. You'll know exactly who did this to her. This is what she's saying it happened. She's saying, yes, she's not telling me what other substance she has in her body, y'all, and I don't know. It doesn't matter. She was under the influence of alcohol. She had quite a bit of alcohol. And she's saying she was hungry through the night. She didn't have enough to eat. So we know when you don't have enough food in your stomach, the alcohol affects your body even more intensely, right? Common knowledge, right? So she said, I was hungry, but there was food, but she just never got a chance to eat. They kept giving her alcohol. She tried to get away a couple of times to go and sleep. When she realized that she couldn't find her purse and her keys, she said, I'll just go crash here. But they kept pulling her back and, come on, don't be a party pooper. Come on, join us. You want to sleep right here. That sort of stuff. She's saying that lady said, sure, yeah, sure, if you want to go, who cares? And she turned and walked away. And she said, I felt bad when she said that because I thought she was my friend. And I realized at that point in time she really wasn't my friend, which is so sad. Because she said, I went there because of her. I thought she was my friend. She's saying everybody was having a good time. There was a lot of, after a certain point, everybody was down everybody else's throat. And, sorry, that came out bad. but people kissing and hugging right there, and then they started pairing off and going off into the different rooms. And she's saying people were in like different states of undress. And she's saying, for a second I was watching this and I was like a little bit traumatized, because I was like, what the hell's going on? And she's saying, yeah, I was also, to a certain extent, I was also excited, but I fought it. But then it's the visual stimulation. I also started kind of feeling like, oh, well, maybe I should let my inhibitions down. But she's saying that this one individual that guy who kept forcing her, she says, I now realize that I was not invited there because I was her friend or she's my friend. I was purely invited there because he had taken a liking to me, and they had planned to bring me in here on the pretext of having a slumber party. And then of course they knew that there was alcohol or what. I don't know if they gave us some controlled substance. I wouldn't be surprised if you dropped something in the drink, who knows? Or whether she had taken something. I don't know if it is a prescribed medication, which is controlled substance too, or whether it is like controlled without prescription. You know what I mean? Controlled substance without a prescription, like a drug or whatever. So she's saying she definitely felt a bit woozy. She had a drink in her hand, and she said she was trying to walk around, I don't know why she's showing me that she was walking around the room. She was walking around the living room. And she said every time I turned, this fellow was like literally standing there and staring at me. She said she asked for water. He gave her a bottle of water. She said I was too drunk, I couldn't open the bottle. Like he gave her one of those little, what do you call those, Aquafina type of, it's not that brand, but you know what I mean, the bottled water. It was sealed, and she said she couldn't open it. And he laughed. He came, he grabbed the bottle from me, and he opened it and gave it to me. And she said she drank it, and she drank it so fast that it came out of her nose, and she started like, you know how sometimes you drink and it goes down the wrong way? You don't have to be drunk to do that, right? And he started laughing, and he thumped her on the back, and that thumping her on the back, the hand started moving around certain parts of the body, and she said she pushed him away, and he got mad at her. She says he got mad at her, and he called her a Fuckingbitch. And she got mad, and she said she threw the bottle. This was in the kitchen area. And she said instead of keeping the bottle on the kitchen counter, she threw the bottle. Because she was so mad, she just threw it. She didn't throw it at him, she said she threw it. And the bottle of water fell down, and he cussed her out some more for doing that. He picked up a kitchen rag, mopped the water up, and then he went after her. By that time, she had already gone to the other room, and she was frantically trying to find her handbag. She was like, one way or the other, I'm going to leave. She said, this was the second time I was searching for my handbag. She said she couldn't find it. So she's convinced that they hid it from her for a reason. So she couldn't leave. She said when she went over there to the bedroom to try and look for her handbag one more time, this individual came after her. Oh my God, people! Oh, Tamla. Y'all, she fought, y'all. She fought him off. Did they do a rape kit on her? If they did it, have they released it? I doubt if they have. She's saying, she's not telling me, she's not showing me just yet whether she actually had sex or somebody forced to have sex on her, like actual physical sex. But she's saying that he came in after her into the bedroom, and she was searching, and then she turned and she looked, and I can see the bedroom. So it's like you walk in here, okay, there's a wall here with the wardrobe, and the bedroom goes like that, and the bed is here. And then here is where the window is. So it's like a little bit of a passage you come in. So hang on. Where's my scratch paper? Of course, when I need scratch paper, I never have it. Jesus. Well, we're going to do this. I need my glasses. So this is the wall, right? Bedroom, wardrobe, right? Bed, window. Okay, don't laugh at my drawing, right? So this is the entrance to the bedroom. It's like a little bit of a passage. There's no attached bath. And then as you enter, here is where the wardrobe is, like a built-in wardrobe. And the bed is here and the window is there. And this whole wall is empty. So she's saying that she came in and she was looking around by the bed, and then she turned and she saw this fellow was in the room, and she's saying that he kicked the door shut from behind. So if he's facing this way, like with his leg, he kicked it back that way, kicked the door shut that way, and she flipped out. And he was on top of her, and she said she fought him. She's like, no, don't touch me, don't come near me, don't touch me, don't come near me. And she's saying he put his hand over her mouth because she was making so much noise that he didn't want others to know. And there was a little bit of a tussle over there. She's saying, I fought with him. He smacked her around. But she was able to push him off. She ran out of the bedroom, she ran to wherever the balcony was, and she was like sobbing, and she was so upset. Everybody was like doing their own thing, and she was like, what do I do, what do I do? She had no control over herself, and she's like, I was so terrified. And then he came at me again from behind. Somebody actually is responsible for her falling over and tipping over. This is not an accident, not by any way, shape or form. I don't care what anybody says. Like, I don't think somebody pushed her. Like, that didn't happen, let me be clear. But the fact that you're standing and you're in such an agitated state and stress, and somebody comes and then you're trying to kind of get away from them, and something happened and she tipped over, and this person caught her ankle by her left ankle. And she's saying that I thought he was going to pull me up, but I don't know what happened. He let go and I fell. Weird injuries though. Weird injuries. But what I'm also seeing, right, it's not like the way she fell, or I don't know how high or how many feet she fell, or all that stuff. But I feel like the fall that she took, yeah, she would have probably had fractured ribs and broken a wrist or broken a leg or broken a pelvis or cracked her skull or something. But that fall, the way she fell and how she fell, would not necessarily have caused her death. She would have been injured. She would have been taken to the hospital. She would have been in the hospital. She's talking about her spleen. I don't know whether her spleen was injured or ruptured or something. She would have had injuries. It's not like she could have got up and dusted herself off and walked away. She would have had some serious injuries where she would have been admitted in the hospital and all. But those injuries would not have caused her death. So it's so weird, like how would you fall and then die from that? Like how? Hang on, you guys. See, this whole reading, I kid you not, I am feeling so lethargic and so like drained of energy and so like, I don't even know how to explain it, y'all. Which is a clear indication. Hang on, let me see if Temperance pops up. If Temperance pops up, if the Star card pops up, 100%. If the Two of Cups pops up, 100% there was a mixing of elements, a mixing of substances. The Sun. No? Yeah, they were having a good old time over there. Y'all, I am so, I can't. Hang on one second. Let me pull one more card. Oh my God. This is one of those mic drop type of situations. Y'all, let me show you. Okay, let me first show you. Can you even see? You can't. Sorry, I'm sticking my elbow in the camera, but I got goose flesh. Damn it. Shoot, the card is even flying off my hands. Y'all, what did I say if Temperance pops up? What do you see? What do you see? The Sun card is here, Temperance is here, and 13, which is the traditional tarot, is a death card, but in this tarot it's devil, death, same difference, right? With the Sun card, it is showing me that there is a couple here who are hand in glove with each other, meaning they are very well aware of, they are very well synchronized with each other. And I'm telling you, this couple is probably the host and hostess of the house. They are responsible for mixing elements. What did I say if the temperance card shows up? I kept talking about temperance and here she is. Mixing of elements, mixing of substance, mixing of alcohol and drugs. Absolutely. Everybody, okay, let me also say this. It's not just Tamla who had drugs and alcohol in her body. Everybody else did. But here's the thing, the difference lies in the combination and the quantity and what your individual body, physical body can tolerate. All that makes a lot of difference, right? Some people have a shot of tequila and they're passed out. Some people will have 6 shots of tequila and they're still able to have a kind of a decent, understandable, comprehensible conversation with people, probably be discussing recipes and sports, etc. And some people, it's not tequila that knocks them out. For some people, it's whiskey. For some people, it's rum. I don't know, right? Or moonshine or whatever the heck you are. God, I got to tell you a story about moonshine. So, and then we have the death card and the devil card. So, these people also have certain addictions, okay? The host and hostess. This is not the first time. This is the first time that they have hosted a party and somebody has died. But they have hosted parties in the past and somebody has come close to dying. They were able to take that person and rush to the hospital and figure everything out, and everything was kind of hushed and sorted out. Nobody pressed charges and nobody nothing. And they kept quiet because they knew if the person, who they rushed to the hospital, if he or she had turned around and pressed charges, he or she would have been in trouble because they didn't provide the drugs. They just provided alcohol. So if I have a party at home and I provide beer, you come home and you drink all my beer, is there a checklist that I can say you can only come inside my house if you have not had any drugs? And whoever the guests are coming home, they may not necessarily tell these people that, oh, FYI, just before I came here, I already had 6 bottles of beer and I smoked pot and I popped some, I don't know, whatever you call those pillies, the pink, blue, white, green, I don't know, whatever kind of pills. Do you think they'll tell? Oh, FYI, I already had a couple of pills and yeah, I'll go ahead and accept that bottle of beer from you. Who does that? Right? So these people would have fought back and said, you never told us you had controlled substances, you had already ingested it. You came in like everybody, you seemed fine. We gave you alcohol, you drank it and just, so that's why all that was hushed. But unfortunately with Tamla, her situation is such that that was her time to go, right? It is an unfortunate, we can go back and say, if only she hadn't gone to that party, she would have survived. Look, it was, her number was up. That's it. Her number was up. She accepted the invitation, she went there, circumstances, things happened and she died. My thing is, it was not murder, it was not suicide. It's a weird kind of a situation. Maybe that's why they're not pressing charges on anybody. But I'm also going to say, I'm going to reiterate here, I don't see anybody physically pushing her off the balcony. She's not telling me that somebody pushed her off the balcony. I'm telling you exactly what she said to me. She showed me that. And she said that he held on to my left ankle. And I don't know what happened, he let go. Maybe he couldn't pull her up, and it is a he. And there's somebody else leaning over the balcony. Listen to this very carefully. Somebody else leaning over the balcony wearing a night suit, a female wearing a night suit. But it's not jammies on the top. It's almost like a gown, like a negligee type of thingy. Somebody, but it's not the transparent thing either. It almost looks matronly, but it's somehow sexy. She's leaning over and she's going, oh my God. She's on the left of the guy. So this is the balcony, he's here, she's over the board, and this lady is on the left of this guy and she's saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I don't know who that lady is. So definitely substances were mixed. They have given us something to have to kind of disengage? No, to subdue her alertness, to kind of make her a little bit more malleable, a little bit more manageable, dull her senses so she wouldn't be so cognizant or aware of what's going on, and therefore make informed decisions. And she died. But see, again, I see that hanging thing. Like, come on, computer. She was definitely hanging. There was definitely a lot of control going on, but this again proves to me that she was hanging off the balcony. Yeah, oh my God. Come on, man. Okay, this camera froze on me again. Sorry, y'all. So, she wants to know how her kids are doing. I'm sorry to say she's not talking so much about her husband, but not that she doesn't love him or whatever. She wants to know how her kids are doing. Okay, fine, calm down. So she's saying, yeah, I love my husband, but we had a little bit of disagreements amongst us. And I just needed to get away from him. I needed to take a break and go enjoy myself without the kids. So he was okay with it. But she's saying as of late, for the past 2 years since before she died, her and her husband, she felt, were kind of moving apart from each other, and it was not how it used to be. And she's like, I didn't want to lose him, but I felt like there was a shift in our relationship. She's talking about a friend of hers who was not at that house party. Somebody's got reddish blonde hair, longer hair. She's got a broader face. She's not giving me a name. Light eyes. She's not a redhead. She's not blonde. She's got reddish blonde hair, blondish red hair, longer hair, and I see that sometimes she does braid her hair. She's saying this lady is very vocal about everything. I almost feel like she's fighting for her, fighting for Tamla, fighting for justice. That's it, y'all. I'm sorry to say this case is, nobody's going to be pinned for this. Nobody's going to be pinned for this. Nobody's going to pay a price for this, except Tamla and her family, because she lost her life. And you know, the odd thing is, camera, come back on, man. The odd thing is, she's like, I've accepted it. Yeah, I wanted to live longer. I wanted to see my kids grow up and all that stuff, but I accepted it. Y'all, one more thing is, remember I said I saw another person. I don't know if it was her twin or a sister or a cousin. If they're not twins and there's a sister or a cousin who's about the same age as her, same height as her, almost similar looking, but that lady is a little bit skinnier than Tamla. And I don't know whether it is Tamla I'm seeing with the scrubs or the other lady with scrubs. I don't know, she hasn't told me anything about this other lady, so I don't know what the significance of that is. I'm sure somebody will put it in the comment section. Did Tamla used to work in an environment where she had to wear scrubs? Oh, you know what she says? Veterinary. Not mainstream medical, but veterinary. I don't know what the connection is. I don't know what the connection is. This other lady has curly hair, but longer hair, and she would ponytail it. She would always have a high ponytail or a high bun. Oh, thanks, computer. Wait, and you have to show that. So most often she'd put a high ponytail or a little top knot bun, but she had curly hair, and she's a little slimmer than Tammy. Why did I call her Tammy? Is that what they used to call her? So I don't know what the connection is. She's saying not mainstream medical, more like veterinary medicine. I don't know what the significance of that is. Y'all, my energy is I'm like so blur, like out of it type of thing, which is so weird. So I don't know whether this camera fellow is going to come back up. Come on, man, camera, are you serious? So let's go back. Come on, camera. Dang. All right, y'all, I'm sorry this thing froze at the very last minute. I suppose there's nothing I can do about it. So thank you for watching, and if you are a first-time visitor, thank you. I appreciate you. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. I appreciate that. I will, absolutely. It helps with the analytics. I won't lie about that. And for all of you people, my absolutely beautiful, the Real Tarot family, you guys are so awesome. I was reading the comments just now on one of the other most recent videos I posted, and somebody had said, there's such a nice group of people here and everybody's so polite with each other. And I totally agreed. I said, that is so awesome to see that everybody is respectful of each other, everybody is polite to each other. We may disagree on things, but we are polite and respectful about our agreements and disagreements and our likes and dislikes and our opinions and our comments. I don't think I've seen too many snarky comments here. There were a couple of those snarky people around, and of course we kind of shoot them away, which is totally okay with me. But the Real Tarot family, you guys are just like rock stars. So I thank you all. I mean, without you guys, no channel can survive without viewership. I mean, let's face it, every single YouTube creator has to acknowledge the fact that we can create videos all day long to kingdom come and back, but if people don't watch and they don't appreciate and they don't connect, we are nothing. I am very cognizant of that, and I so appreciate y'all, your comments, your thumbs up, the fact that y'all are actively involved, y'all pay attention to what I say. A lot of you guys, are so good at, hey, I went and looked this up and look what I found, and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you guys are sleuths, man. I mean, y'all should be in law enforcement as detectives. Like, seriously, I kid you not. And the fact that you'll share that information is so awesome, because I don't get to gain anything per se from that information you'll share. But then again, the only hope is that somebody somewhere connects the dots and these cases are resolved, right? Oh, yeah, the Kaneka Jenkins, I was talking about some Josiah. First I said Joshua, and Kaneka corrected me and she says Josiah. And I was describing the way this man looks. Oh, camera, thank you. I was describing the way this man looks and him wearing his hat backwards or something like that. And somebody sent me an email with an actual picture of this guy, and I almost fell off my seat. I was like, oh my God. And his name is very, I can't recollect it right off the bat, but his name is very, I would say a different version of Josiah. It's in the email. I'm not going to say it out now because just for the sake of, safety and security. So let me keep this here. So sorry guys, I've been moving around my computer a little bit. There we go. So I was kind of blown away. I was like, dang, that's like validation right there. So I do appreciate you guys. If you all know anything about Tamla Horsford, let me know. My condolences to her family. I mean, gosh, it's got to be tough on her husband and her kids and her family, right? I mean, what the hey, you go to a party, you're a living, breathing human being, look totally okay, look totally normal, look absolutely fine. You go to a party and the next thing you know, you're dead. Like, who goes to a party and doesn't come back home alive? Like, it's weird. But she's also showing me injuries to her internal organs, like her heart and her spleen. How do you get internal injuries like that if you fall? Like, she shows me like gashes, like somebody took a knife and gashed type of thing. How do you do that? Unless there was some piece of iron sticking out somewhere, and as she fell, she kind of... But that's so far-fetched also. I'm telling you, y'all, one thing I'm very convinced about is this fall cannot be a fatal fall. It cannot. I don't see her falling from a very great height. I don't see her falling like you're walking on flat surface and then you trip and fall. It's not that kind of a fall either. She definitely fell from a height, but it wasn't so high up that it would have been a fatality. She would have had injuries, definitely broken bones and ribs and pelvis and etc., maybe even cracked her skull or dislocated a hip or whatever, been in the hospital, and it would have been a little bit serious and all that, but definitely nothing that should cause her death. So I and she's telling me, she's like, this is it, this case is done, they're not going to open it, they're not going to pin anybody, that's it. So the only thing this is very, very sad. She's saying, tell my family to let this one go. That's very difficult to do for a family. She's saying, tell my family to let this one go. Remember me the way I used to be. Let this one go. She's saying they're not going to pin anybody. They're not. And that's sad. Did they go after the owners of the property for wrongful death, like in a civil suit or something? She's like, no, they're not going to get anything out of it. She's like, just let it go. I'm okay. Like, I know I'm not in the... Yeah, I feel bad because I want to be with my kids and see them grow up and all that. I know my kids are hurting, etc. But she's like, it's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm okay. She has accepted her death. So that's the only thing I can say. So my condolences to the family and to the children and to the husband. It's a very difficult, like it's, I can't. And y'all, I'm still feeling that, I have a feeling that she was not completely cognizant. She was not sober. She was definitely under the influence of alcohol and controlled substance when this happened. She was very fuzzy. So I'm going to stop with this, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Much love to you guys, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.